شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. May Allah reward those who close the door. Yes, you know, I've come across with this. Can somebody close the door at the back there, please? Where they speak about some of the questions, or question is posed, what about shaitan in Jahannam? What's going to happen to shaitan? And it's a good question. You know, you always had weirdos in the past that asked like questions. So sometimes, remember when you're asking crazy questions, just remember, you're part of a very long legacy, mashallah. So the question was asked about shaitan in Jahannam as well. So what happens to shaitan in Jahannam? Because Jahannam is made out of fire. So the ulama, they speak about, I'm not sure if it comes in hadith, but it's just coming to my mind now, about there are certain spaces in Jahannam that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punishes using extreme cold. So I don't know if we are part of Jahannam, okay, or what, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about that as well in Jahannam. And it's amazing, you know, whilst you're in the dunya, Allah gives you a taste of difficulty of the akhirah, as well as pleasure in the akhirah. I don't know if you know what I mean. For example, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about fruit, He doesn't just say fruit, He says, okay, here's an apple for you, but the apple in the akhirah is going to be different. When He speaks about the fire in the akhirah, what does He say? That fire that you have there, but it's just 70 times worse. Are you with me? So, all of these experiences must always connect us to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's amazing actually. May Allah make us people who take heed. أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ Ya salam. Hey? Is Surah Tabarak on you? Okay, it's fine, no problem, I use my phone. Can we all recite from the beginning till where we start, inshallah? 1, 2, 3, go, bismillah. If you come to the end of it, and then just restart again quickly, now. Coming up. Must be very cold, huh? Sure. خلاص أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أأمنتم من في السماء بسم الله بسم الله How long is that mud? 4. I explained last week, right? What 4 and 2 means. Everybody remember? Everybody? Okay. Hey? When we say 2 and we say 4, what it means? So sometimes they present themselves differently in books, right? So sometimes they say 2 alifs or they say 4 harakat. 1, 2, 3, 4 harakat. Because 2 harakat is 1 alif and another 2 is 1 alif. So sometimes if you hear, how long do you pull this mud? 4. What are they speaking about? The harakat. Are you with me? Most of the time, actually, when they're speaking about the length of the mud, they're speaking about the harakat. Most of the time. When they say 4, because it's easier. Are you with me? أأمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بسم الله بكم الأرض فإذا هي تمور Remember we spoke about the ikhfa, the rule of ikhfa, to hide. But you remember that, right? So we never mention all the letters of ikhfa, we mention them as they come along, right? So there's another rule called idgham. Idgham means to assimilate, right? I spoke about it now, but it was more here by Safati wa yaqbidn. But we'll speak about it over here now, right? So remember what did we say? How does a rule come about in Arabic or in Tajweed? Is constantly when they saw that letter, then this took place. Are you with me? Via oral transmission, right? So there's something called idgham, which means to assimilate. So assimilate, if you take 2 things and you merge them into one another and you join them into one another, that they become one. Are you with me? Right? So if you look over here, fi samai ay yakhsifa. So this rule over here is called idgham. It's called idgham. It means to merge, right? But when we're merging, we merge with ghunna. Alright? We merge with ghunna. So it can't be. Sometimes the mind it asks questions all the time. Alright? And shaitan is always there to whisper into the ear to give you doubt. Alright? So there are a couple of letters of idgham. You can write them down, inshallah. They are called yarmaluna for short. Or what you call that? When you put it together, it's called a acronym. There we go. Yarmaluna. Ya, Ra, Mim, Lam, Waw and Noon. Can everybody see them? They are idgham with ghunna and idgham without ghunna, but we'll speak about that again, inshallah. Ya, Ra, Mim, Lam, Waw, Noon. Everybody have them down? For example, I give a common example. We all know this example. If you say, how do you recite this? Why don't you recite Man Yaqulu? Not because you just don't. That sometimes we think like that, that we just don't. No, we don't, just don't. It's actually a rule. Alright? Why? Because idgham takes place here. This noon sakin over here is assimilated into the ya. So you read directly from this mim, poof, into the ya. Are you with me? You don't have to do it to the poof, you can do it to the so man yaqulu. But the reason why I'm highlighting the rule over here is because many of us, when we do the ya, the idgham with the ya, we do this ay yakhsifa. Heard this before? Ay yakhsifa, right? Remember, when you make an idgham, there will always, not always be, but there will be ghunna as well. Unless it's between a lam and a ra, but that we'll discuss in another time. Alright? Min ladunhu or min rabbi, for example. Alright? And he's reciting for the Kamil of Al-Hudali, but that's a different discussion. So, أَأَمِنْتُمْ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاءِ أَنْ يَخْسِفَ. Everybody hear that? Bismillah. 1, 2, 3. One second. What is, I think everybody knows what's hunna, right? No? Okay, no problem. That's a good thing. Why? Because I explained in the next class what hunna is. Sometimes we have this idea that hunna is a sound, a pausing sound. For example, miwal. Miwal. But actually, the makhraj of a hunna, what's a makhraj? The exit point of a makhraj of a ghunna is what? The nasal cavity. So you have to hear that miwal. So when we're reciting over here, it's supposed to sound like this. أَأَمِنْتُمْ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاءِ أَيْ. Not أَيْ. Can you hear the difference? Yeah, no. Good point. We must practice that. Everybody has to practice it first. That is normal. You have to practice it. Look, it's not going to come from one class. It's not going to come from one class. Wallahi, just on this, after 15 juz, right? So we recited. So the initial khatam I did with first, I couldn't grasp the concept, right, with Qari Ayub. Then with Mona Salim, I couldn't understand what he mean. What are you talking about timing? What are you talking about timing on the letter? It took me like almost 10 juz, more than 10 juz to actually realize, oh, that's what you're talking about. I couldn't figure out, if data, whatever. So if it took me so long, do you know what I mean? And I'm not shy to say it took me long, even though I practiced and I tried and even, but I couldn't understand the concept. So if there's anything that's vague in the mind, ask a question, but at the same time you have to practice all the time. If you don't practice, I don't know if I mentioned this in this class, but if you go to Egypt, right? So you can go recite for ijazah, inshallah. Ameen. Right? So if you come in Egypt, what you can do is you can attach yourself to a sheikh, right? You can go to him. You can either study at the Jamia, at the University of Al-Azhar, or you can find yourself a scholar and then you basically connect yourself to him. You recite to him all the time. Alright? So say for example you have like famously the Zinnati brothers. Many of South Africans go, they recite to them, or you can go to Misbah, Widen, Yunus Ghalban, etc. Right? Then there are other gatherings that we can't attend. So the dakatir, those who have PhDs and doctorates, right, in tajweed, etc., they will sit in certain gatherings and they will recite as well. Now, why do they recite? No, there's the word, to practice, so that they can critique one another as well. Are you with me? Because you never reach a point where you cannot be critiqued. So it's a continuous struggle. For example, like you'd find certain gatherings, there's certain videos of Sheikh Hakim Abdul Latif. He was the Shaykh al-Maqari, he was the main Qari of Egypt, the main, Shaykh al-Qurra of Egypt, right? So then there's certain gatherings where they're sitting with senior mashayikh and they're reciting to him and he's hammering them. Obviously with respect, because they know, man, we're not busy with anything, we're busy with the Quran. We can never perfect it, but we can at least attempt to perfect it all the time. Right? Even our history as Cape Townians, we're coming again to the end of the period, but our history as Cape Townians, we know the Khatam Jama. The Khatam Jama, Sheikh Salih Abadi, did the present, I don't know if anybody's seen it, the presentation of Sheikh Salih live. I don't know if it's on YouTube, at the I'tikaf program. So when he came back, he immediately joined the Khatam Jama. So the Sunday Khatam used to be on a Saturday and a Thursday. Saturday and a Thursday. But the point of that was what? To create high standards of recitation. This isn't something that is foreign to Cape Town. Cape Town is famous for this, you know what I mean? Very strict on recitation, very strict on tajweed, very strict on tita, whatever, right? So the only way you're going to get it is practice. At-takrar yu'allimul at-takrar, you know takrar, right? Repetition. Yu'allimul himar. We all know the translation. Repetition can even teach a donkey. So who are we? I have to say eventually that recitation will come, right, inshallah. Alright? أأمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بكم الأرض فإذا هي تمور. Bismillah. Breathe before we read. 1, 2, 3, go. Nice. أم أمنتم من في السماء. بسم الله. Nice. Remember the أمنتم and من في, those are different rules, right? Those are not assimilation rules. Those are hiding rules. Ikhfa. So because it's ikhfa, what do? We are hiding the noon sakin, right? So we have to recite it in a way where we are not directly applying 100% emphasis onto the noon sakin. So أَأَمِنْتُمْ مَنْ, not manfis. Some of the Indian scholars, they recite manfis. So if there's ikhtilaf, maybe there's ikhtilaf, Allah alam. But you'd find more the Indian subcontinent, they'll recite it like that. Man fis sama. If I remember correctly, there is some sort of ikhtilaf in it, right? But is it a carried opinion? I don't think so, right? Bismillah. Amintum. Sorry, amintum. 1, 2, 3, go. Can you see the same thing there? أَن يُرْسِلَ عَلَيْكُمْ حَاصِبًا. Bismillah. Remember there? So we can't be saying I don't know if, is it clear over the mic? That's not hunna. Is not hunna. Because what sound is supposed to come also? The nasal sound. So, can you hear the difference? Anybody hear that? Bismillah. Yes, that's another rule. But I don't want to bombard you with rules, you know what I mean? Yeah, but that's also a rule. أم أمنتم من في السماء أن يرسل عليكم حاصبا. بسم الله. Oh, nice. That's the beauty. For example, you're asking about tracing over here. That's the beauty of the Quran. You can't speak Arabic with tajweed. It's not gonna work. That's the that's the beauty of the Quran. When we're reciting with tajweed, the beauty about it is we are reciting the way Nabi Muhammad ﷺ recited. The way miraculous part of the miraculous nature of the Quran is the tajweed of the Quran as well. Amazing, amazing. Once a tabi'i, he read to Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu anhu, if I remember correctly. Then he, for example, let's just say this verse, then he recited أم أمنتم من في السماء أن يرسل عليكم حاصبا. And Abdullah bin Abbas told him, no, I never heard Rasulullah ﷺ reciting like that. Then the tabi'i looked at him, then he recited, I heard Rasulullah ﷺ, and he recited أم أمنتم من في السماء أن يرسل. Are you with me? So it's not to say, like, for example, hai bacha mit tajweed and hai bacha sunnah tajweed. Tajweed and Quran can't be separate from one another. So, understand? So, yeah. But remember, it's not, let's just apply tajweed. It's not like that. No, tajweed is a practice, daily practice. I mean, this is Dharam Kalamullah. The least we can do is try to recite it with perfection. And we don't know, it could be that little bit of action that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pardons us for. The little bit, I don't want to say that's far, and it must sound like something else, because this is a word of Allah. That little bit Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might look at us with mercy, and inshallah enter us into Jannah. I mentioned it in the Iqra thing, Al-Imam Al-Ghazali. Somebody saw Al-Imam Al-Ghazali. We know Imam Al-Ghazali, right? Right? So Imam Al-Ghazali is like, I think they call him Hujjatul Islam. He was like the proof of Islam. He wrote so many books. He was in defense of the Muslim. It's just never ending. Imam Al-Ghazali is one of the greatest scholars to ever walk the planet. The amount of khidmah and service he did for the deen of Islam. So some of his students saw him in a dream. Right? Afterwards, they told him, Imam. And the similar thing happened with Al-Imam Al-Shafi'i. Some of his students saw him in a dream afterwards. They told him, you must be enjoying a very high status because of what you did. Imagine all the service. The Imam Al-Ghazali tells him, no. Once I was writing a book in the evening, and as I was writing, a fly came to sit on my pen. At that time it was a feather or something. And the fly came to sit, and I wanted to move, but then I thought, wait, let me not disturb the fly. And the fly was drinking of and when it was done and flew away, then I continued writing. Because of that action of mercy, Allah showed me mercy. Imagine, Al-Imam Al-Shafi'i, when people saw him in a dream, they asked him, Imam, you must be enjoying a great maqam because of all your service to Islam, your contribution to the deen of Islam. So he says, no, there's one salawat that I did. Because of that salawat, Allah forgave me. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. We recited in the khatat. Kullama. But the winner said, this is Kun dhakaraka dhakirun wa ghafla an dhikrika ghafilun. Allah. That one. You know that one? That's Imam Al-Shafi'i's one. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad kullama dhakarahu dhakirun wa kullama dhakara an dhikri ghafala an dhikri al-ghafilun. It means Allah sends salawat upon Nabi Muhammad sallallahu to the extent of those sending salawat upon him. And Allah sends salawat upon Nabi Muhammad sallallahu the amount of those who are negligent and not aware of sending salawat upon him, even that amount. So meaning the amount of people that is in this earth, and jinn and all the other creations sending salawat, and not sending salawat sends so much salawat. Because of that salawat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave me. Man, so we don't know, man. Let's take these small little bit of things serious. Inshallah, it might be. I don't know, there's one verse in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't speak about about actions. He just says one action. We don't need actions to be accepted. We just need one action to be accepted. So each and everything we do, a Muslim is that thing, that person or that being who does something with perfection. They try their best. Now obviously, Khairul Kalam, what's the best of speeches? The speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Any questions before we conclude? Don't ask me to do that lagu again. No, nowadays it's very different. La ilaha illallah. Everything has changed. MashaAllah, it's upgraded khadat nowadays. MashaAllah. Nowadays you can't make khadat, people don't come pacha what's your khadat, but you khoya. It's khadat of tajweed, MashaAllah. And beatbox. The beatbox is in the first year, MashaAllah. Any questions? No questions. That's nice, MashaAllah. That's nice. No questions? Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbina rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.